Imagine turning your slow, outdated laptop into a fast, lightweight, and secure Chromebook, all for free. Sounds too good to be true? Well, it's possible with Chrome OS Flex, and I'm here to show you how. Welcome to my guide on transforming any laptop or old PC into a Chromebook, Chromebox, or Chrome device using Chrome OS Flex. My name is Pete Moriarty. I've been helping small business owners systemize, organize, and scale with tools like Chrome OS for over 20 years. And today's video, I want to take you through how to install Chrome OS Flex. It's going to make your laptop or PC faster, better. If it's an old machine, it's going to give it a new lease on life. And if you're looking for a change in the Windows or the Mac operating system and you just want to try something new, you can even try it without committing to wiping your hard drive. But this is a great solution for any old machine that you've got if you want to gift something to a family member or someone else in need, and you're looking for something to do with an old machine that's slow but not bad enough to throw out. This is a great thing to do. So what's Chrome OS Flex and how does it work? Well, Chrome is an operating system developed by Google. It was originally obviously a Linux variant, and Google have made it all googly. So it's connected and baked into the Google ecosystem. You use a Google account to log in, so either a Gmail account or a Google Workspace business account, and that allows you to synchronize all of your information and all of your data to the local machine with your information in Google's cloud. And that's useful because it means that if anything happens to this computer, you're going to have all of your details just synchronized to your Google account. So that's easy. If you're even downloading files, you can choose to save those downloads straight into your Google Drive if you want. You can obviously synchronize files up and down to the internet. So these machines are really for cloud work, or ideally for a machine that is connected to the internet most of the time. Now, the benefits of switching over to Chrome are that it's going to extend the device's lifespan. And it does that through a little bit of magic in that it's a very lightweight operating system. So it doesn't have to think very hard and therefore doesn't put much stress on your machine. Now, any old computer that's had Windows or Mac installed on it for many, many years is probably going to benefit from reinstalling its existing operating system, right? But when we reinstall Chrome, it's lightweight and it moves faster. Now, secondly, it's very low power consumption because it uses so little as a baseline. If you're using a laptop and maybe it's got an older battery, which is not quite at its fullest capacity anymore, well, then you can extend the energy use, which is pretty good. And it's also a highly secure operating system. There's no real known malware, spyware, viruses for these machines. They just really work, and they're pretty well protected against the nasties on the internet. So if this is something you want to gift to like an elder member of your family who's not quite so tech savvy, well, this might be a great option for them. So let's get into installing. Now, Chrome OS Flex is a lightweight version of Chrome OS. Now, that comes on most Chromebook and Chrome devices. You're pretty much getting exactly the same operating system, but there's a few caveats like not being able to access all the apps in the Play Store. So we want to first check that we have a compatible machine before we go ahead and install it. Obviously, you need to have an Intel-based machine, so that's going to discount or disqualify some of the Macs. But most Windows machines built in the last 5 or so years are going to be compatible, but you can check the official compatibility list just to make sure if you want. Now, next, you should back up your data. Anything on this computer is going to be wiped if you choose to format and reinstall this. It's all going to be deleted. So every single thing on that machine should be backed up. We call it giving it a birthday. my stepdad says giving something a birthday means it's going to be gone and started from scratch. Okay, I don't know where that reference comes, but let me know in the comments if you know where that one's from. Next, you do have the option of testing before you actually wipe your hard drive and fully install. So when you boot to the USB key for the first time, you're going to be given the choice to just try out Chrome first, and that lets you load the operating system, but it doesn't delete anything on your hard drive. So it just loads it into memory. It'll be a little bit slower, but it lets you kind of get a feel for it. But then when you shut it down, it'll delete everything from that session. It's temporary only. Now, the permanent installation means it's going to wipe everything. It's going to give you fair warning that it's clearing the hard drive, but that's how you actually get it, wiped and installed properly. So the next time you boot your computer, it's going to boot into the new operating system. Now, if you're interested in learning more about how the operating system actually works, what features it has, we've got a great video here, what to know about Chrome OS Flex. And if you're an absolute newbie, we've got a video for newbies as well. So lots of other videos on the operating system. We're going to download Chrome. We're going to create basically a USB installer. And so you go and get the official Chrome OS Flex download. You download that to your computer and you run the little app, and then you're going to have a USB stick installer that needs to go onto a USB stick. Now, it needs to be 8 gigabytes or larger. They do ask for certain brands, but In my experience, most brands work just fine. SanDisks seem to work better. Check forums if you're having any problems with this by Googling, but for the most part, they seem to work okay with any old USB stick. My recommendation would be if you have one of those little switchy ones that switches between USB-C and the standard USB-A, that usually works better rather than going through a hub or an adapter. So if you do have one of those switchy ones, that would be my recommendation on where to start. Follow the steps in the wizard and you'll get your USB created. Next comes the hard bit if you're not quite a techo, and we've got to boot to the USB. Now, we have to enter it's called the BIOS settings, but it's basically the base level settings of your computer. And when you turn on a computer, you know all those funny things come up on the screen, or maybe it just flashes the logo of the manufacturer. We've got to hit some key combinations to bring up our settings. Now, every manufacturer has different settings here. Sometimes it's F12, sometimes it's F2, sometimes it's shift something. You want to Google the model of your computer and work out how to access BIOS settings. And you have two options there. One option is going to be to go straight to a boot menu, and ideally we want to find the boot menu. If the boot menu works, then you can just choose the USB and then you'll be able to boot to USB. But sometimes you need to switch on the ability to boot into USB. And again, this is going to be different for all computers, so you might need a technical person to help you with this. But you go into your BIOS settings and enable USB booting if you need to enable USB booting. And then you go back to the boot menu and we're going to boot to our newly created USB stick. Now, if you do get stuck here, we have a team of IT experts who can help with getting you booted correctly. If you're a business owner or even a solopreneur, we have options available for you for support. Click on the link down below and you can get in touch with our team for some help getting into your machine and getting Chrome OS Flex booted. Now, once you've done that and you've booted up, you're going to go through the step-by-step guide. It's pretty much just clicking yes, yes, yes to go through the installation wizard. Very easy to follow. You're going to choose between a temporary installation, which lets you try it out, or a permanent installation, which is going to wipe the hard drive and basically turn it into a Chrome machine permanently. You will need a Wi-Fi connection just so it can check things, but once you're all logged into your Google account, you are good to go. Now, unlike installing any other machine, you don't need any drivers or additional manual downloads to get things working. With Chrome, things either work or they don't. For most machines, everything should work fine. If you've got Bluetooth, that'll work. If you've got audio, that'll work. If you've got an Ethernet port or an HDMI output, all of that should work just fine because they use pretty standard open protocols. Every now and again, there's a laptop model that maybe has a problem with the graphics card because it's an incompatible graphics card with the Linux drivers that Google has embedded inside Chrome OS. So again, check the compatibility list before you get started and hopefully you've got the right one. But once you've got it booted and you're in, it's time to explore the features of Chrome OS. You'll notice that the Chrome browser is prominent because these machines are pretty solely focused on working online and in the cloud. You can certainly download files, you can open up your PDF files, your media files, anything you need to get done on the actual machine like a normal computer. You can print, you can connect to network media servers if you want. But for the most part, you're going to be working in the Chrome browser, and that's the simple beauty of Chrome OS, is it's deeply integrated with the Google ecosystem, but gives you access to where we spend most of our time, which is online and in the web using the Chrome browser. Even though this machine is primarily designed to be used online, you can also work offline. Obviously, if you're using Google Docs and Google Drive, you can switch on offline access mode, and that means you get able to access all of that. If you're using Gmail, you can even switch on Gmail for offline, and that'll work in the Chrome browser. Download the last 90 days worth of email, and then you can access those while you're offline as well. Any of your other kind of normal files sitting in Google Drive, video files, audio files, Microsoft documents even, you can save those offline if you want and have them available even if you don't have an internet connection. And there's plenty of other options for local working on the machine. My recommendation would be to check out the Chrome Web Store, the Google Marketplace, and that lets you access all of the add-ons, extensions, and extra things that you can add to Chrome. Today we've covered how to transform any laptop or machine into a Chromebook with Chrome OS. We've covered downloading, installing, and exploring all of its features. If you're having any trouble or if you have questions, drop them down below. And if you need professional help, itGenius are here to help you and your business. Hit the subscribe button and stick around if you'd like more content just like this.